Let's begin with the results from the runoff election. After much sound and plenty of fury, Mayor Sylvester Turner has been given another 4 years to lead the city.
Whether you voted for me in this election or not, it matters not to me. When this night is over, the slate is clean, and I am your mayor.
The margin of victory over challenger Tony Busby, a solid 12%. Panel, how and why did Turner capture this reelection? I'm going straight to Charles Blaine.
It's a game of turnout. I mean, and he did it. He activated his base. I think Turner, you just saw it in that clip. He has a great way about him when it comes to getting people excited, when it comes to really getting people to feel that they should be engaged and they should buy into it, and he was able to pull that off. But the thing is, what follows election season is accountability season, and if you were involved before, if you were supporting a candidate before, hoping things would change, you need to stay involved, because when this new council is sworn in, there's going to be a lot of changes that need to be made in this city, and you need to put your effort forward. If you can block walk for a candidate, if you can phone bank, you can spend some time reaching out to your city council member. So I really hope that folks who are sad now that they lost stay involved, stay engaged, and push for the changes they wanted to see, because governance happens every day. Election season happens once every 4 years.
Okay, Tamara Bell.
All right, listen, today is a good day. First off, this has been a very emotionally draining on the entire city, and it's not just about who got their people come out to vote. It's those who couldn't engage people to get them to come out to vote. And all of this started at the end of the primary election. That is when people decided what they were going to do and where they were going to go. And some candidates were able to ignite people, because some people chose somebody that they knew and were afraid of somebody that they didn't know. And for the incumbents that won, that is because it is very difficult to beat an incumbent. And when you put out false lies and divisive language, especially the city of Houston's election is nonpartisan. But people kept talking about, oh, he's a Democrat, he's a Republican. It's a nonpartisan. You need to be voting about character, not about partisan or color.
Okay, partisan, though the mayor was with the Texas Democratic Party chair. We saw his opponent with former Governor Rick Perry. Bob Price, what's your take on all this?
Well, there's nothing nonpartisan about this election. It may be called a nonpartisan election, but there's nothing nonpartisan about it. And I'm sorry, did you say he had 4 more years to lead or to loot this city? So I think there's an interesting thing that went on here. I think the voters are just tired of all the corruption talk. They're worn out by it, whether it's at the presidential level or at the mayor's level. They're just worn out by it. They're not listening to it. They're not paying attention to it. And unless somebody gets put in jail, they don't care.
Okay, Tony.
Well, I think you saw the DNA for the landslide victory right there on the speech, because I saw the mayor speak several times. And every time I see him talk in front of a group of people, you can tell he enjoys it, and he really knows how to reach out to folks on their terms. And he's a social media warrior as well, because he's not saying one thing to one group and changing it up for the next. He's consistent, and I think that's really what was at it. He was at work. He made it clear he wanted to be the mayor. I'll also say that Latinos came out for the mayor. They may not have come out in different pockets, because we still only have one Latino city council member as of today, but they came out for him. But he could appeal to us in a very specific way, including bringing out Sylvia Garcia, First Tejana Congresswoman, to bring out all the troops and say, here's your marching orders. So to me, it's pretty clear that he really wanted it. I think that's what the people wanted. But let's also make it clear, low turnout right after Thanksgiving, before Christmas, it really is the people who knew they needed to believe in someone. Last thing I'll say too, 30,000 vote undercount between who the mayor was and the lowest at-large seat. So that means 30,000 people came just for the mayor.
Okay, Michelle Maples. Back-to-back losses now for the Houston Professional Firefighters Association. I know that disappointed you.
Oh, absolutely. I thought the firefighters did a wonderful job at organizing, at block walking, at the signs. There is nothing else I think they could have done to throw their support first behind Dwight Boykins and then to Tony Busby. I am bummed out that Busby did not win, and unfortunately this is partisan, even though that, this utopia idea that we're not, one side or the other. However, again, Sylvester Turner, he has got this loyal base, and it doesn't matter. Bad act after bad act after bad act. They love him, and they are the people that show up, and he was the victor last night.
Okay, a dose of Carmen Rowe pragmatism. What's your take on what went down?
I'm glad the slate's clean because we've all had plenty to say that's not positive about a mayor who's going to lead the city for the next 4 years. But I do think it's important that, you know, one of his narratives after the victory was that you can not live in a big house or come from the ghetto and still lead the city, the fourth largest city. I think it's important to know that what Tony said in his speech was important. I think that everybody in Houston has let Sylvester Turner know that we're watching, that this kind of thing's not okay. And I hope he takes from this that we need to clean up Houston City Council. We need to clean up the City Hall to make sure that this kind of stuff isn't happening going forward. That's the message I hope people are getting, win, lose, or draw.
Okay, Busby rolled the dice, threw out a last-minute mailer on Drag Queen Story Hour, as well as okay, the Trump tweet.
Yes.
Real quick.
In the 48 hours before this, the election day, he sent out two methods of information. Both of them, I feel, were damning to him. The one he sent out about the LGBTQ and the one he sent out with the Trump tweet. Let me tell you, I was one of those people that was with Bill King, that both candidates were running after us. Please come vote for me. I didn't vote until yesterday, okay? I didn't vote until yesterday. Those things that he sent out, those mailers, I'm telling you, that turned people off. That turned people off. And let me tell you, it was not the low turnout. The early voting in this runoff election was higher than the early voting in November.
Okay, got to leave it there.